Epstein was trying to blackmail him. That explains the pictures. So what else do you have? I didn't say anything about pictures. What do you mean? I need to stop getting stun locked by this. Lol, you guys fall apart under. You are the god. You are a god troll. Holy. I actually got one guide by you so hard. If you want to chat about it, we can, but I'm not going to keep getting one guide by you in chat.
First of all, what makes him look like a... Let's get to that.
Well, he was friends with Epstein for like 15 years. I don't think you're defending pedophiles.
We're after the pedophiles the whole time. And now that
and now you're not.
Off your breaks, you guys are still the ones kids. Get the out of here with your nose ring, dude. I know what you're into over there.
Kash Patel, who is the leader of the FBI, and Pam Bondi, who's the Attorney General, have both were saying that there was a client list. There was a real client list with names. It was on her desk. And then one day, out of nowhere, it just completely gone. You're with me. There's no way.
I'm tripping, but you're retarded.
Oh, there's Epstein stuff? I don't know anything about this. I saw this right before I started stream. I don't know if this is anything.
Donald Trump and his allies have been saying for some time that they hope to end the Epstein matter or release something and make it quiet down, and certainly by Labor Day. Well, it's not going according to their plan. Congress is returning to Capitol Hill. You got a bipartisan duo that wants to force a House vote requiring Trump's DOJ to release all the Epstein documents once and for all. Since for all the double talk, Trump's administration is clearly not doing that. The same duo says they will hold a press conference with Epstein survivors on the first day Congress returns from recess. Now, I could tell you here in the newsroom, we hear about a lot of press conferences, and sometimes you look and say, this is important, maybe we'll cover it. Other times you look and you say, maybe it's a political gimmick. It always depends on the news of the day.
Oh, shit. Wait, Labor Day is... I didn't realize that Labor Day is actually September 1st. It's literally 2 days away. Oh, my God. They already gave him one extension, I remember. Or they gave him one deadline, and then they were like, yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. We're not going to be able to do that. And so now they hopefully are not going to drag their feet on this any longer. You watch the news,
you probably know that. But it would be a good bet that a lot of people online and in the news media will be wanting to cover some version of that news conference, considering that Trump has open questions, he has not fulfilled his vows for transparency, and substantively, it matters when victims, some of whom have never appeared in this formulation together, speak out about what they say is the Trump administration's failures. So that is pressure. House Democrats also looked over this first batch of documents that were kind of pushed out here in the summer period from DOJ and say most of them are not new. They were basically already public. The DOJ did...
Yeah, also, I'm so confused. What the did they give those disgusting influencers? That disgusting freak who runs Libs of TikTok, Chaya Raychik. You know that picture of her? I want to know, dude. I want to know. What is in these? What is in these little books they gave him? What is in here? Epstein Files, Phase 1. What is in here? I want to know. Because they were basically treating it like this was like the full thing. I want to know what's in here. I want these people questioned, dude. It's crazy. This stupid, like this is like it's so disgusting that. And by the way, I used to say, oh, Trump never ran on it, bro. The fact that they did this, like the second he went into office, I don't care. This is disgusting. The fact that they would like even try to use this as any kind of way to gain capital within the election, and just to turn around on it in a second and be like, oh, we got to get the files together. We got to just, maybe we can do them in batches. We still have to redact the name. What the do you mean you still have to redact the names? What is this? What is this huge binder of and why do these people have it? Right? It's crazy to me. Whenever the fact that they're dragging their feet, anything they do other than full cooperation is sketchy as
release something new. Its unusual interview with the Epstein co-conspirator Maxwell, but that's raised a lot.
Oh my God. And in the interview, she said, what did she say? She said the most blatantly like not true thing I've ever heard in my life. Hold on, wait. I have the exact the quote right here. Because I quote tweeted it. Oh my God. Marjorie Taylor Greene, this disgusting freak. Ghislaine Maxwell says President Trump was never inappropriate with anyone and was a perfect gentleman in all respects. Yes, dude. Yes. The very reliable narrator, Ghislaine Maxwell. Thank God, okay, because we totally take her word for everything she says. By the way, she also said that that she never did anything with children and Epstein never did anything with children. So it doesn't really mean much. Actually, it's really foreboding, the fact that she said that she included Trump in the statement and basically said the same thing about him that she did about herself. That's pretty bad. I also pointed out in this tweet that she like said what she says here. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects. This is, I think even Trump supporters shouldn't be able to believe this. He was a gentleman in all respects. He was never inappropriate with anybody at the sex parties that he and your boyfriend Jeffrey Epstein were attending all throughout the 90s and the early 2000s. He was never inappropriate with anybody. He was always a gentleman. Give me a break. And basically I said, if Trump was smart, he would have fed her a line that says something vaguely disparaging towards him in the hopes of covering up his cover-up. Of course, he is a raging narcissist and gave her a script that unrealistically glazes the out of him. And I said, any MAGA tards actually believe this shit, lol. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I am so suspicious of basically not every Republican, but I know that every Republican is trying to keep this quiet for the sake of Donald Trump. Objectively, very clearly.
A lot of questions amidst these blanket denials.
I never, ever saw any man doing something inappropriate.
Is she British? I only looked at the transcript. Ghislaine Maxwell is British. That's disgusting. That's even worse than being a holy shit. British former socialite. What is a socialite? A person, typically a woman with a wealthy or aristocratic background who is prominent in high society. Wow. Incredible.
With a woman of any age. And I did introduce
any
him
age, guys.
to women. I did. But not underage women. So
okay.
I never saw an aggressive move. I never saw anything that was
non-consensual.
Well, thank you. Okay. I never saw anything that was non-consensual.
TP, it doesn't matter how you got here, buddy. All that matters is that you're here now. Okay? Enjoy the ride.
That's the voice of a sex trafficking convict disclaiming things she was already convicted of. It undercuts her credibility.
Grab him by the pussy. Yeah, I know. Like, you're telling me that you never heard Donald Trump say anything, because that is a recording that is objectively real. Whether you want to say it's a big deal, there's other things I would criticize Trump for. There's other things I would criticize Trump for, but the grab him by the pussy thing. But regardless, that is a true thing that did happen. And so it's the idea that he wasn't in private saying something like similar at any point. It's like, she's obviously lying. Literally on acid, and notice this was playing. Okay, well, I'll try to just be I'll try to not fuck up your trip. I'll make sure that you have a nice trip. I won't be weird. I'll be as normal as possible and you can have some fun. Okay. Okay, let's keep going.
And speaks to the farce of that interview, according to many legal experts. We have one on hand, as you see, Joyce Vance, former U.S. attorney, MSNBC legal analyst. Welcome back. Joyce, the trickle or drip of some information or sometimes recycled information from DOJ seems to be raising more questions. They want to claim they're releasing stuff, but the big stuff they haven't released yet, and what they have released looks fairly stale. What does that tell you about sort of where they're at with a president who once claimed there would be transparency in this case?
Well, and that's exactly the issue here, Ari. DOJ was under no obligation to release its case files. But Donald Trump, the president, the head of the executive branch, their boss, said that there would be transparency. And so the fact that they've backtracked, I think, raises a lot of legitimate suspicions and concerns about what might be in that evidentiary file if it were released. So far, we've seen...
This is like going back to what I said earlier about how you could basically accurately describe Trump and every Republican would be like, yeah, that's true, but I don't care. Like, honestly, they don't even care that he's a... I would genuinely like to know. I think they did a study on this, and there was still like a sickening amount of people that said that they would still support him if he was in the Epstein files. But to actually, like, if there was concrete proof that he did something with Epstein let's say, I mean, I know this isn't the case, but let's say the statute of limitations passed, right? I know that doesn't work for child sex crimes, but let's say it did and there was like no legal repercussions. He could continue to be president and all that stuff. And there was no risk of impeachment or whatever. I would genuinely be so curious to see how many people would still support him. You guys think Trump is a... I don't know, but he's he's acting like the most suspicious if he's not. I haven't seen, we have not seen any direct evidence that he is a pedo. To be clear, he is just acting very sketchy. He's just acting very sketchy, that's all.
Two dodges. We've seen this ridiculous end run, this attempt to get the courts to release grand jury material, which failed. And in the process of...
That's a dumb theory. Maybe he's using the blackmail to get us their one-sided trade deals that... Wait, oh, you're doing the meme. Oh no, you did the thing that what was his name? The Channel 5 guy, Andrew Callahan. He literally said, he like came up with a theory that basically the reason that Trump was that Trump didn't want to release the Epstein files because he wanted to blackmail Democrats or the bad Democrats in there to go along with his policy positions, which the Republicans would be okay with and be like, yeah, hell yeah, base. That's good. That's awesome. I mean, you say it's dumb and doesn't make any sense, but I mean, the fact that him and his cabinet have, or specifically, I mean, don't even talk about Trump, right? Let's just talk about his cabinet for a second. I literally have this right here. Hold on. Background for the Russia hoax thing I'm working on. Attorney General Pamela Bondi released his first phase of declassified Epstein files. She clearly seemed to think it was pretty important. Kash Patel said as well that he wants to release the Epstein files.
What the hell are these Republicans doing? Oh, I saw you give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that.
Yeah.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
He's the GOAT, guys.
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Yep, so he clearly wanted the list released. Which one was this one again? Yeah, this was an actual letter where Pamela Bondi acknowledges receiving the Epstein files containing, and I quote, Epstein's list of contacts and a list of names and victims. It says it literally right here. They all were, you know, if you want to say Trump had nothing to do with it, that's fine. But people that were in his cabinet, people that are very prominent, you know, his attorney general and the head of the FBI are both saying that these things are real. And then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, they're all brushing past it and they're acting like it's not real and they don't want to talk about it anymore. That's why I think that's the best argument that he's at this point, is the fact that he literally, that him and his cabinet are acting like this, and he is just so apprehensive to talk about it. I never was super like big on the whole Epstein thing, or like, because that was more of a Republican thing actually. But I mean, now when I see the way they're acting, I'm like, I want to see these files. I want to see what's in them. Maybe Epstein is in witness protection. I don't know. I just think the theory that Trump is protecting them is low IQ. But no, Trump is protecting himself in that case. Trump doesn't care about anyone else. Trump would just be protecting himself. The king lives. Hell yeah, the den. What's up, buddy? Yeah, no, that's basically it. Like, when you have everyone around you switch from, yeah, the Epstein files are real and there's a client list, to there's nothing at all. There's nothing there at all. Don't worry about it. And then all of a sudden Trump is like sick and tired of talking about it. Meanwhile, for the last, basically ever since Epstein died, all we heard from online conservatives was the Epstein list is going to put away all these Democrat leaders, all these Democrat celebrities. And then when people said they were voting for Kamala, when like famous people were like, oh, I'm going to vote for Kamala, everyone was like, I bet you're on the Epstein flight logs. I bet you're on the Epstein files. I bet you're a and that's why, because you know that Donald Trump's going to expose you, right? Like, yeah. Maxwell says herself that he did nothing wrong with Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell is a convicted child predator, brother. I don't take her word too seriously. She also said that she didn't do anything wrong. She also said Epstein didn't do anything wrong. So by that logic, I mean, if you believe her, you must believe her when she says that Epstein didn't do anything wrong either, right? Or even you believe that she's not a pedo? You think this whole thing is fake? Like, I don't know if, yeah. I don't know. You would have thought that if Trump was in the files, they would have released them last administration. So that's a decent point. But the problem is that the Democrats were not incentivized to do that. And there's good reasons to not release the Epstein files. There's plenty of good reasons and justifications to not release the Epstein files. There's really no necessitation for releasing the Epstein files, actually, because at the end of the day, like, what is the average common man going to do with that information? It only kind of sows disarray and chaos. So my problem isn't not releasing the files. It's not about like, and also, by the way, you don't need to prove that Trump is to discredit him as a leader. There's like, there's like a million other things that you can probably appeal to before that. But the idea that basically every Republican from, you know, the Cletus in Alabama all the way to the top with the pundits and, you know, MAGA adjacent legislators and people within his cabinet and even Trump himself are all talking about the Epstein files and using it as kind of like a platform in which to vote for Trump off of. And they're talking about Democrats getting arrested and going to jail and all that stuff. That's when all of a sudden I become invested in it. That's when I start to care about it. I don't hold the previous administration accountable for not releasing it because what point do they have in releasing it? There's no point in them releasing it. And I don't think they would release it just because Trump is in there. I don't think that's a good practice at all. And unfortunately, the Democrats have morals almost to a fault as opposed to the current Republican administration, which does not. So where do you get off calling Trump I don't think I've ever called Trump seriously. I've probably like jokingly called him but I would say that he looks very guilty. I mean, I said when you asked me the first time, I said, if he's not he is the most guilty looking person on the planet. He's just acting really guilty for no reason. I said already, there's no direct proof that I'm just appealing to circumstantial evidence in the context surrounding the situation that makes it look extremely bad for him. Nah, you guys are saying it. I am me. Hello, nice to meet you, brother. My name is Nathan. I am one person. I'm not saying it. I am one person. Okay. Pictures? No, they don't. Okay. His job was to blackmail people for Mossad. What is going on? Dude, this is crazy. Okay. I need to not get schizo stun locked. Oh my God. Epstein was trying to blackmail him. That explains the pictures. So what else do you have? I didn't say anything about pictures. What do you mean? I need to stop getting stun locked by this. Okay, we're going to keep going.
We learned that the only thing that was involved there was 2 summary witnesses testifying. So nothing new there. And then we have this release, this dump of information vouched for by Representative Comer, which turns out to be nothing new. And so at some point, you know, you don't have to be a former.
Well, how he's a pedo. Okay, TP, you're trolling the out of me. I've already said multiple times. I think you're just trolling the out of me. Lol, you guys fall apart under. You are the god. You are a god troll. Holy. I actually got one guide by you so hard. Holy. Because there's. Dude, that's crazy. Holy. I got one guide so hard. Holy. Well done, dude. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Former federal prosecutor, to have your little ears pick up and wonder what it is that they're trying to keep from the American people.
Mm-hmm. And jailhouse statements, be they issued.
It all ties back to Israel. Exactly, Hina. Exactly. It all goes back to Israel. Everything. The Mossad, guys.
In this unusual interview format, or what sometimes happens, as you know, in cases where there's things that are captured that an inmate says to another inmate or in a context, they don't have automatically high credibility. We're talking about convicts. Sometimes we're talking about people who are trying to barter or trade information. Or continue to clear their own name for whatever their own personal reasons. And so when Maxwell went on and on about how nothing bad ever happened, I played one part, I'm about to play you another. I'm wondering what it tells you about her credibility, because the administration wanted to release this to say, look, here's a character witness for Donald Trump, in a sense. And that's so bizarre because a convicted sex trafficker is a terrible character witness. Here she was. Take a listen.
TP Productions, if you want to give me your Discord or you want to add me on Discord, we can chat about it if you want. I don't know why you're so mad at me. If you want to chat about it, we can, but I'm not going to keep getting one guide by you in chat. Go shoot me a friend request. If you want to chat about it, we can chat about it. You can send me a friend request. We can chat about it. But you're arguing with a wall right now, and then you're insulting me for like while you're arguing with a wall. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Good luck. Also, I have the nuke. I could ruin your trip so hard, but I'm not, because I'm a nice person. Okay, I'm a nice guy. And I want you to have a nice trip. Okay, because you said you're on acid, and I don't want to ruin it for you. Okay.
I saw him with lots of masseuses. I never saw a single masseuse ever look unhappy or not come back or whatever. So based on my observation, I don't think that if you are being raped, as now he's like this prolific, I just can't imagine why you would return.
It's not what you observed at the time.
Not what I observed at the time, no.
So Blanche sort of gives her this open door, and she talks about how whatever the ring of activities, including these so-called masseuses, were happening, Epstein never did any.
Are you saying you'll add me on Discord, or is that what you're saying? Trump won 8415. There's no shot that that's your name. There's no way. There's no shot that's your name.
What's up?
Hello?
Yo.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hold on. Is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, dude. What's going on?
Is it just me and you?
Yeah, it's just us. Well, I mean, I'm obviously streaming right now, but yeah, it's just the two of us in the call.
Okay, yeah, there's an echo though. I can hear a bunch of shit going on in the background.
Oh, okay. So yeah, what do you have what do you I guess you're kind of mad at me at something I said. What did I say that?
No, not mad. Hold on, there's an echo. Is that me or I gotta turn the stream off?
Just turn the stream off and then you should be fine.
Okay, now we're good.
Okay.
So I can't watch you live, I gotta just talk to you?
Well, you can join the live. Well, yeah. Well, it's just like if you're calling, yeah, then you would have to just talk to me.
So I can actually watch you because
yeah, okay, yeah, that works.
Face.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, so what's up? You invited me on. I'm on your show. Is there anybody watching? Is there people?
Yeah, we got like 20 people on Kick and YouTube combined. But
cool.
So you think that I'm saying that Trump is a?
Well, I think you are. Yeah. Are you not?
No, I've said multiple times that.
I think all of you guys are. All of you guys have been accusing Trump of being a.
Who is you guys?
People on the left. People with nose rings.
Okay. So if I tell you that I'm not accusing Trump of being a.
What were you doing just now then?
I was saying that the way that he's been acting does not look good for him, and it makes him look like a pedo.
No, that's not what you said. I mean, come on, you're on YouTube. We could definitely go back. I was only watching you for like 10 minutes, and I got a gist of it. You definitely associated Trump with being a.
Well, I kind of made the argument that whatever's going on, I said specifically, I think immediately when you said that, I called him a. I said there's no direct proof that he's a. But he's just doesn't make it look very good. And I would, and to be fair, I would.
Make it look very good. What is it that does? What makes it? First of all, what makes him look like a? Let's get to that.
Well, he was friends with Epstein for like 15 years. That's like the first thing.
So how does that make him a? Wasn't there a bunch of people that were friends with Epstein? Does that make all of them
best friends with Epstein and hanging out with him for like 15 years in the from the 90s to the mid 20s?
Being best friends with Epstein when he's trying to blackmail you is like being best friends with your drug dealer. Like, he's trying to be your best friend. He's got billions of dollars. He's trying to get close to you. And meanwhile, Trump, on the other hand, is a billionaire in his own sense. He's trying to sell himself. He's trying to sell his business. He's trying to sell whole buildings to rich people. So, yeah, he's going to entertain somebody who might have a bunch of money. And then a picture gets taken. And then what I'm saying is that people like you are taking that picture and saying that he's a.
Okay, what Where did I claim that Donald Trump is definitively a?
So are you saying he's not a?
I'm saying he looks like a.
So you're basically okay. So you're making the claim that he's associated with. He's suspected of. And then when I accuse you of doing that, you backtrack and you say you're not doing that.
No, I'm being pretty consistent here. I said that I'm not claiming he's a. I just think he looks like one.
So he just looks like a. So he's not a pedophile?
Yes, based on the context of the situation and the circumstances, I would say yes.
All right, that's fine. You
because
look like
I mean, so
how about that?
Based on what?
Okay, so that's as far as you got.
Well, based on
Trump.
what? Because I can. Well, no, it's not as far as I can get
on the
because
nose
I.
ring.
Wait.
Nose ring. Well,
Okay.
why is Trump a pet? Why does Trump look like a?
Okay, well, I'll tell you. So
Based
first
on
off,
the same nonsense that you're going to give me is what I'm going to give you.
Wait, let me explain it, and then you'll see that it's not the same thing. So first off, let's talk about how Kash Patel, who is the leader of the FBI, and Pam Bondi, who's the Attorney General, were saying that there was a client list. There was a real client list with names. It was on her desk. And then one day, out of nowhere, it's just completely gone. They don't want to talk about it anymore. They don't want to look into it anymore. Wouldn't you say that it's a bit, it kind of is implicating a little bit that Donald Trump's FBI director and his attorney general are both one day saying that it's real, and then the more they actually get their hands on it and look into it, they say, actually, no need to look here anymore.
Okay, so you just said he looks like a, and then when I asked you to explain why he looks like a, you brought up Kash Patel and you brought up the Epstein files, and then you went on to bring up that he's not releasing the Epstein file. How does that explain how he looks like a?
Because two of the highest ranking.
You're not sticking to one thing.
What do you mean not sticking to one thing? There's multiple different contextual bits of information.
Okay. And you went on this tangent that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even relate to what we're talking about.
How does it not make sense? When I say that two of his highest ranking cabinet members were both claiming that the client list was real, and then once they dug into it, they decided they didn't want to pursue it anymore, why do you think that is?
Why do I think that? What is?
Well, hypothetically, let's say that Joe Biden was touting how much he wanted to release the Epstein files. And then out of nowhere, you know, his attorney general and the head director of the FBI were both saying that it's real. And then all of a sudden they look into it. They realize that actually, this doesn't look pretty good. So then they don't release it anymore.
If this is the conversation you want to have, then let's have this conversation. But you can't just go throw this at me when I'm asking you, why does Trump look like a?
That makes him look like a pedophile.
So then he's therefore. Are you saying he's a or not?
When I say he looks like a, do you think I mean based on his physical appearance, or do you think I mean by the context surrounding?
I'm saying that you're basically accusing him of being involved with these that we're trying to get rid of. You're trying to affiliate the two as if they're the same, but they're not. Trump's trying to take them down, and you're trying to act like he's with them. Is what I'm claiming that you're claiming. Are you?
And why doesn't he release the Epstein list?
That?
Why doesn't he release the Epstein list if he's trying to take down?
Well, that could be for a variety of different reasons, but if that's the conversation you want to have, let's talk about that. But I'm asking you, do you think Trump is a? Because that's what we're on the phone about.
I don't know if he's a.
So you're not accusing him of being affiliated with these, right? Just because he's in a picture with them?
He is objectively was affiliated with Jeffrey Epstein. He was friends with him for like 10, 15 years.
But does that mean he's a?
That point on its own, not inherently, no.
Okay, so what evidence do you have at all besides pictures of him being with Epstein? Do you have to make you believe that he is a? Just tell me that, and then we'll have whatever conversation you want.
I've said this like 15 times, brother. I have not definitively claimed that he's a.
So you're not.
I think he looks like a.
Okay, you just keep backtracking this shit.
It's not backtracking. It's very consistent. There's a difference between me believing that he's a and me thinking that the context of the situation makes him look like one. As long as you're admitting
that Trump is not affiliated with, then there's
he was affiliated with Jeffrey Epstein, who was so he was affiliated with. If you want to take that angle, then you're objectively wrong.
Dude, you're like a retard.
I'm sorry to hear
what
that.
I'm trying to get at is Trump affiliated with these people or not? Is that what you're insinuating? Yes or no?
Trump was affiliated with Epstein because he was friends with him, who was indeed a...
You're fucking playing word games for your own enjoyment.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, wait, hold on. Was Jeffrey Epstein a pedophile? Wait, hold on. Wait. Yes or
equal. So Trump pedophile.
Okay, you're with me, right? You gotta be with me. You're with me. There's no way.
I'm tripping, but you're retarded.
You're with me, dude. There's no way you're not with me right now. You're like trolling me.
Nobody's with you.
Your name is Trump18415. That makes me think that you're a troll.
Okay.
Okay, wait, let me ask you this question. Okay. Is Jeffrey Epstein a pedophile, yes or no?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but people like me were telling people like you about Epstein 10 years ago. You're only worried about him now because you think Trump's involved. That's the problem people like me have with people like you.
It's not even about Trump being involved. I figured that Trump was involved years ago. It's not necessarily about Trump being involved.
Involved with what?
With the Epstein files, potentially.
What do you mean by that?
Like that he was potentially sexually exploiting minors.
So you think Trump is on blackmail? So are you saying it or not? Because you just said earlier that you don't think Trump's a... Now you're saying he is doing what with minors?
Do you know what the word potentially means?
Oh my God.
When I say potentially, does that mean that it's possible? Or does that mean that it definitely happened?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Potentially you're doing it, okay? The same potential that Trump's doing is the same potential that you, sir, are involved, okay?
Yeah, so but when I say potentially, it's qualified with like 3 different points of circumstantial evidence, probably more.
So give me the qualifiers. Give me all the qualifiers besides him being in pictures.
Okay, so first off, him being friends with Epstein is a part of the circumstantial evidence. You can't hand wave that. That is a very incriminating...
I can easily. Go ahead. Keep giving me more.
Okay, so I'm going to say that him being friends with Epstein is one of the qualifiers because it objectively is. Number 2, because okay, so does that mean that you don't think Bill Clinton has nothing to do with Epstein then, right?
No, Bill Clinton was blackmailed by Epstein. Are you kidding me? You're not
blackmailed how? Blackmailed how? Wait, blackmailed how?
Like there's pictures of him on Lolita Express going to the island. He's on the Epstein list 28 times.
Was Trump blackmailed?
No, what do you mean? There's no proof of this. There's proof that Bill Clinton was. Where's your proof?
I thought you said earlier that Trump was blackmailed. Did you not?
No, I didn't. I'm asking you, where's your proof? What are you doing?
My proof? Wait, proof of what?
You're terrible at this, dude.
Proof of what? What direct claim did I make? I said that Donald Trump looks like a based on the circumstantial evidence.
What are you here yapping about, dude? You're not saying... You don't have a point. You're not saying, dude.
Okay.
Seriously. I mean, at this point, we're just talking in circles. You're not saying... You don't have a concrete point to argue against.
Okay, so hold on. Just give me like a minute to just explain.
Defending being in support of Trump?
I don't think you're defending pedophiles.
We're after the pedophiles the whole time. And now that
now you're not. Now you don't give a about it.
No. Nothing changed. Pump your brakes. You guys are still the ones kids. Get the out of here with your nose ring, dude. I know what you're into over there. Fucking creep.
Sure, dude.
Come on. Make a point.
Okay, so just give me a minute and I can make my point. So the original claim that I made and have always made is that with everything that has happened and has transpired ever since Trump took office has looked extremely bad for Trump. The fact that for years we were hearing about how when the Epstein files come out that all of the Democrats are going to get exposed and they're going to be taken down and anybody who was voting for Kamala Harris was going to go to jail. All of a sudden, Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, they're handing out the binders. They're giving them to these influencers, and they're saying like, "Oh yeah, here's the first phase and everything." They're making this big spectacle out of it. They're talking about they're getting everybody real excited, and then they're saying, "Hey, I have the Epstein client list on my desk," and now all of a sudden they're saying there's no client list at all. That's really, really incriminating and weird. Not to mention that yes, being friends with Epstein, so yes, I'm sorry, looks really bad.
Where does it go from?
I said he looks like a
The guy who we entrusted to expose all the is not doing it the way we want it done. So now he's it just doesn't make sense because he's in pictures with them. Like at least
him being in pictures is just one aspect of why he looks like a.
Okay, that's fine. You look like a.
Based on what?
The nose ring.
Okay. Is there any like circumstance? Do you think that's as qualifying or as convincing as the things that I brought up, or no?
A nose ring, it usually means they're a lefty, and when they're a lefty, it usually means they're into diddling kids.
Really?
Or they defend it. Yeah. You look like one of those people who would be outside of a library that's having a one of them gay readings. What are they called? The LGBT readings?
The drag queen book readings for the children?
And you'd be dressed in all black with your ribbon on, and you'd have an AK-47 at the front door saying, "Nobody's stopping these kids from getting groomed today." That's you, buddy. Like, what do you think we're over here doing? We're defending when we're the ones that were after them the whole time. Why are you guys making us the enemy? Why are you making Trump the enemy? He's the one that came from nowhere. He's the guy that came from the private sector to challenge the swamp. And the entire swamp was weaponized against him. All these celebrities, these sleeper cells, they all turned on him. They loved them, dude. They loved them. And you know they did. They all loved him. Everybody adored this guy until he challenged their system, their system. Epstein didn't get arrested until Trump got in. So where do you guys get off knocking the king? Unless you got more than pictures.
The king?
Unless you're gonna.
You mean the president? Case. The king or the president?
I hope they do make him the king. I hope they do make him the king. I hope you lefty never get back in power. Yeah, they're gonna make him the king the way you guys are acting. Look at it. We got the military deployed in the streets. You think that's for nothing? You guys are
yes,
psychopaths.
It is for nothing.
No.
It's completely worthless.
It's because you guys are psychopaths.
Because Trump is a fascist.
You can't handle the Epstein files. The Epstein files are coming, buddy. We told you they were coming 10 years ago.
After they erased Trump's name out of everything, is that when they're coming?
Fucking handle the Epstein files. People like you go crazy over fentanyl Floyd getting kneeled on. Are you kidding me? You guys riot over was getting shot in their arm over PETA. Are you kidding me? You people can't handle anything. We have to deploy the military across this whole country before we let.
We can't handle anything
shit because people like you are crazy.
I'm crazy.
People like you, yeah, the nose ring.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of why I think Trump looks like a.
Well, I think you're making enemies with people you shouldn't be making enemies with.
I am enemies with all fascist authoritarian dictators. Yes, they are my enemies. Yes.
You should be our friends. You guys should be our friends in this fight because we're both fighting the same people.
No, that's no.
Okay, so who do you think your enemy is? Is it Trump? Because all
Trump and his cult are absolutely the ultimate detriment to this country.
So
yes,
it's not the people who took over your country and turned your republic into a corporation and print money on a piece of paper, loan it to
because Trump never did that. Trump never signed legislation to make it easier for him to make money with the blockchain and made his own Trump coin. Are you kidding me?
Shit about blockchain. Don't talk about crypto with me, boy.
Okay.
You don't have a Bitcoin in your wallet.
No, I don't, because that shit's for retards.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Oh, I haven't worked in 7 years because I was telling people like you 10 years ago, invest in crypto. They were calling me a retard back then too. Fuck you.
Okay. He said the F word, so I have to get that out. Oh, jeez. That guy's crazy. Holy oh my God. All right. Well, there you go. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. That was crazy. That was awesome. Oh, his name is Real Good Goy. Holy shit. Oh God. Okay, gotta. Am I crazy? I feel like I was getting gaslit super hard. Okay. That was fire. Dude, that's gonna make such a good video. I can see it now. Oh, I can see it now. The video. Debating guy on acid. Dude, that shit was so fire. I don't know. I mean, obviously, anyone with a brain can understand that there's a difference between directly accusing somebody of being a and saying, you know, based on all of the circumstances and everything that's been happening and the way that he's talking, the way he's acting, you know, I kind of feel like he looks like a based on everything, right? Like, I feel like those are clearly two different statements. Wow. That was my first political debate, and it it ended with me getting called the F slur. Very nice. That was actually so fire. Holy shit. Okay, what were we doing? Oh, should we finish watching this video? I don't know. Should we finish watching this video? I don't even know if there's a point, because that was the content right there. Is there anything
in her observation that caused anyone to be concerned? I'll let you have the easy job.
Trump's wife can't. Yes, Trump's wife can't even make him smile at him with a straight face. His wife. That's another thing actually that I feel like nobody talks about. This is like the first president ever that I feel like, well, obviously going into the term where their wife hates them. It's like so sad. Like, and also I feel like she doesn't do anything. I feel like there was like all like usually like the first ladies are always like responsible with like these tasks or projects and stuff. And I haven't seen her do anything. The first time I even heard her name since Trump got elected was like she gave a letter to Putin saying, "Hey, can you stop killing children, please?" So, yeah, Trump's wife hates him.
Analyzing and fact-checking this, I'll just say it sounds ludicrous because we know these people were concerned because we have their testimony. Some of them are going to be speaking out next week. We know they were concerned after their interactions with the now deceased defendant Epstein.
It's really hard to imagine a less credible witness. The only thing that matters here isn't my assessment of Maxwell or your assessment. It's the jury's assessment. They heard all of the evidence. Okay,
whatever. Let's go on to the next thing. I think we got our content out of that.